Just wait a couple more seconds. Hey, what's up, Bricks boy? Sorry, I butchered your name there. Let me open the chats. Hey, Drew, how's it going? Big fan, thank you. So, yeah, I have a weird setup going right now where I kind of have to like switch in between um, running my Bricklink store and getting all set up to make customs because I only have one desk, and so basically I'm split between just like swapping my desk space out for one or the other. So that's why it kind of takes a while to just get this all set up. But I'm glad I'm finally live again, and yeah, I missed the content. Glad you're back. Thank you, Drew. So close to 10K. I know, Harrison. So close. I like the new setup now, personally. Yeah, I do too. I feel like it has a lot to do with the mat, honestly. I really like the color of the mat. The old one did not work so well on live streams just because it would kind of like it would it would just blend. It would like I don't know, darken the whole picture. So this makes it kind of like light up almost. But as you can see, I got Hauser over here just chilling with the rest of the gang. These are pretty much the 5 newest figures I have. Can you please make a custom Indian flag phase 2 clone trooper? I don't know about that one. I don't think I've ever made a figure that was based off of a flag, but I think I've seen Hoodie Studios on Instagram make one. So I'd go check that out. Not necessarily Indian flag, but that's certainly an interesting concept that I think he has explored. So yeah, other than that, the things that I am working on, here is one knee pad for Ursa Wren that is currently drying. I got the helmet done. So yeah, there is that. And let me shift the lighting around if I can, real carefully, without destroying anything. At least consider it. Yeah, sure. You should make some mocks. I mean, I certainly have the pieces now, but I don't know, honestly. My building skills are not good, but again, so here is the torso of Ursa Wren. I'm making it on a female aerialite torso, so that's why it's curved on the bottom. And that's really just to match the Sabine that I already made. So yeah, and then weirdly, I found this. I found just this just laying around. It was basically it was supposed to be Jack or Rise, I think is how you say his name, to go with Thyre. But I'm not sure what entirely happens. I guess I just forgot about it. Most YouTubers dismiss my lame idea. It's not a lame idea. It's a good idea. The whole flag trooper thing is definitely something that is pretty creative to work with. And also, I was thinking about making an Ezra Bridger using one of these CBB Scout Trooper helmets. So you can let me know what you think of that. Pretty much the cool mechanism in this is that the front opens and you can just close it. So it totally could be used to make Ezra or something else. Yeah, we got 9 viewers in here. I remember the days when I would get like 50 or 60. But, makes sense. I haven't been live for a while. So, yeah. I guess first thing I want to do... So, most of the Ursa Wren parts are still drying. So, I think the first thing I'm going to do is just paint one of the clones, or the clone, which I think is going to be... I haven't decided which one it's going to be. I think it's going to be Jack from Star Wars. Let me pull up the reference. I got the, yeah. Okay, so he's the one with the rocket launcher. Are you going to do another CAC haul? I haven't really. I mean, I've been considering it, but I don't know yet, really. It's tricky because I don't really want to spend any money right now. But I know that a lot of people look forward to those, so we'll see. Let's see, where's my white paint? There it is. Okay, this is my matte paint from Apple Barrel. So I think his arms are, his arms, so they're just like thighs. So I need to paint the shoulder pads, and then we can go from there. Let's see, where is my palette? There it is. Okay. So, in other news, while I was away the past couple months over the summer, I have been taking a computer-aided design class, which is honestly like opening up whole new possibilities, because if you don't know, computer-aided design is basically like it's like how Clone Customs makes all their products. So it was really cool. I ended up making a full like a fully, like, I don't know how to describe it. It's like a full Lego figure, but I added joints into it so you can move it in the program and you can animate it too. So that was pretty fun. But yeah, I sanded down the shoulder pads already, so it should just be as easy as applying white paint, which is never quite easy, I guess. If you've ever worked with white paint, you know it's the devil. So yeah, there's part of it. I'm honestly not sure. Oh, okay, there's more chat. You should do like an event where you pick a random subscriber's logo and make a clone trooper. That's actually a pretty good idea. That's basically like the You Pick I Paint from, what's his name? Noble Artists. So, yeah, that's a pretty good idea. Okay, sorry if I'm being quiet. I just don't feel like repainting this again. So I don't want to screw up. Sorry for the background noise, if you can hear any. Okay, so we got most of the shoulder pad painted. Let me know if this is an adequate view for you guys. I'm trying to do the best I can, but on the live stream it's kind of difficult with the iPad because my phone cannot handle a live stream. It crashes pretty much as soon as I start it on my phone, so my iPad's kind of big and bulky, and I have to maneuver around it on my desk. So yeah, but there is one shoulder pad painted and dropped nice and slow. But yeah, okay, so here we go. I definitely need to add some more water to my brush. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to do after I finish the shoulder pad is paint the little wrist communicator that I sculpted on. You can see it. I'm just going to go over it, and actually I think I'm going to do black paint first because it helps create an outline, and then I'll go over it with the white paint. without touching the edges, just to leave a nice outline. And yeah, there is the other shoulder pad. So, easiest part of the whole entire figure, I'd say. Painting sculpted parts is nice in that sense, just because it's basically like painting. It's like coloring inside the lines or something, something like that. Oh shit! Actually, I missed one. Sorry. Excuse my language. I missed the little curve on the side of the shoulder pad. There we go. Okay. Yeah, not too much chat going on. What are you guys up to today? Or who's in here, I guess? Yeah, so I'm actually going to wait for those shoulder pads to dry for like 5 minutes before I paint the wrist communicator, just because if you leave one fingerprint on white paint, it pretty much screws up the entire shoulder pad. So I'll avoid having to redo the whole thing. So yeah, that is that for now. So I do have the shoulder pads for Ursa Wren sculpted. They're actually on my desk. They're off camera. It's right where my... Oh, actually, you can see them. They're right here. They're just drying. I'm going to peel them up once they're dried, and then I'm going to glue them on, because I didn't feel like sculpting them directly onto the arm, because they actually, like... They're not, like, on the arm. They like, hang off the side, basically, or hang off the top. So I felt like that would be difficult if I tried to sculpt them directly on, just to avoid them like bending or curling. So this will be better. I can just take them off once they've dried, and I can just glue them, and that should be much easier than trying to work my way around sculpting them on. So yeah, but as you can see, the knee pads are done here. Everything is pretty much done. The side of the torso, the black wrapping around the legs, and yeah, everything is pretty much ready to go for this guy. I do need to sand down the knee pads a little bit. I don't think I got any questions about sandpaper, hopefully. Hello, Sumer. I'm not sure how to say your name. Love your custom minifigs. Thank you. But yeah, so right now I'm going to be very careful not to scratch off any of the paint. This is one problem with my workflow right now, is because I really like to sculpt stuff, or to paint the underneath layer before I sculpt stuff, and that runs into some issues when I'm trying to like sand some stuff down, and the the paint is still there, and sandpaper really just destroys the paint. So I have to pretty much bend this and be as cautious as possible. So yeah, just go back and forth very slowly. I just got to get rid of some of the marks that my hands left. When is your next CAC video? A lot of questions about the CAC. I don't know. I have a lot of reviews I could do, honestly. Just let me know what figure you would like to see, or if you want another unboxing, let me know about that too, because I already got one other question about that. So, yeah, we will see about the CAC videos. I'm amazed at how much the Clone Army Customs brand has actually grown. There are a lot more people. If you didn't know, the Bricklink, or not the Bricklink, there is a Bricklink Discord server, but there's also 2 Clone Army Customs Discord servers, if you know what Discord is. So yeah, there's an official CAC Archives server, which is pretty much home to all of the old Clone Army Customs collectors, and then there's the official CAC Discord. I think Tyler is in both, and he's pretty active, so if you ever get the chance to actually talk to him, it's not that uncommon. I actually met him a couple times IRL, so that was pretty cool. But yeah, I'm just trying to get this last little bit on the knee pad sanded. You can see what the sandpaper does. It pretty much removes, it creates like a smooth surface, but it makes it kind of gray. Like you can see the dark gray and the gray. This little lighter gray is where it's been sanded down. So yeah. What are you painting? I just joined. Hello, Broken Nathan. I just painted the shoulder pads for another clone. I think it's going to be Jack, maybe Rise. I'm not sure, since they're basically the same clone outside of the bandolier. But yeah, I'm also working on a sculpted Ursa Wren. This is the helmet so far. So yeah, that's pretty much what I'm working on. But right now I'm kind of focused on the clone. So I'm just sanding it down, kind of talking about some stuff. What grit sandpaper? See, I know nothing about sandpaper. I just got this from Nate's Minifigs. It says, I mean, here, I'll just show it. I think it's 600. Oh yeah, it says grit P600. Sort of an idiot when it comes to the technical details, but it works. And yeah, I'm really happy that I started using sandpaper. I wish I started using it sooner, just because it helps so much sanding down sculpts and makes everything so much smoother. And it's like a godsend when you need to use white paint, because white paint will catch every single mistake that you make. How many custom clones have you made over the years? Take a guess. Probably like 400, I think. Lately it's slowed down. Like it'll take me, like you guys watched the Hauser video, I assume. It takes me like 2 days of just constant on and off work just to make one. But before, I would just zoom through them. Like I would have this little series going where I would, I think it was called Building a Custom Army or something. They were some of my most popular early videos. But pretty much what would happen is I would just do very simple knee pads. I do the metal armor on the arms, which would take a lot less time than sculpting and all this does. And yeah, that would pretty much, I don't know, it would really only take like 20 minutes to put together the basic outline for a figure. And I would just have them lined up, and I would just zoom through them, making all these figures. And so yeah, that's where that number really got inflated, I would say. So yeah, I think man, this one last little spot I just cannot get on this. Hold on. Okay, there we go. Sorry, I'm being so picky. Yeah, so there we go. And I only managed to scrape off a tiny bit of the paint, so it's all good. All good, though. I actually forgot. They don't have stripes on there. Wait. Oh, yeah, they do. So Thyre actually has the full knee pad in that dark red color. But these guys actually have the white and then the stripe going down. So, yeah. How many oh yeah, I already read that. CAC came out with the Phase 2 kicks. It got sold in the first day. I haven't been keeping up with their releases lately. That's amazing, though, that they were able to sell out in one day. Okay. Now it's time to paint the knee pads. Okay, I put a little bit too much water on the brush. Whoopsies. Usually when I put too much water on the brush, it means that there's going to need to be a second layer, so it'll look complete for now, but it's going to need to be gone over again. What are your opinions on the new style of clone trooper from Lego, and what clones do you think we'll be getting soon? Um, I don't know how I feel about the new clones. I have like I think 20 of the new 501st troopers. So I just don't know. Like they definitely could have done better. Um, like FaZe said, it's like the realistic phase 2 is really what it kept with, in my opinion. Or they should have just, I honestly like the old 501st Troopers. The, not the, or the ones from the Headhunter and the ATRT. I wish they would have just done a battle pack with those, honestly, because I like those helmets a lot. Even though there's no arm printing or any of that, so. Yeah, this is going to need to have a second layer later since it's a little watered. What's your worst custom clone? That is a good question. I think I made a rainbow clone trooper about 4-ish years ago. That one's pretty bad. I definitely think it's a cool concept, and it could have been cool. It was not. it was it was just like a combination of a good idea, but with just terrible execution. So, like my painting skills are still not necessarily good. Like I have to rely a lot on going over stuff again and again. Actually, why am I painting this? Now I say that. Like that is really what I learned is basically it's really hard to master something, and just painting in general, something that I've come away with is basically just the idea that nothing's going to be perfect your first time around. So I just like this, even sculpting that goes for this, like the same, because I had to sculpt this torso for Ursa Wren. I was up till like 2 a.m. last night. It's just such an odd shape that I had to stay up till 2 a.m. and then I scrapped it, and then I woke up this morning, spent 3 more hours on it, and I finally got it to somewhere where I like it. So it's just something you got to do over and over again. Luckily on Hauser, I think I've done enough clones that it didn't feel like as much of a challenge, but um, just being able to make some of these figures that are not clones just feels so much better, because it's like you're just adding skills to your skill set. So, if some awesome figure comes out someday, um, or is like some new character or something, you can be like, I can totally make that. And you can sit down and, a day or two goes by and you can have product. So that is my thoughts on painting. So yeah, so I just painted the wrist communicator, just a solid black color, and I'm going to, like I said, do the whites, do the white paint later for it, just because I like the sides being that black color instead of the gray from the Procreate. Do you have any tips for painting clones? Oh, well, yeah, that kind of goes for that. Just, you got to do it a lot, over and over again. I think this is almost dry, not quite yet. Yeah, you really got to do it over and over and over again. Hello, FX Lone Wolf. So, yeah. There are still a couple spots. I kind of painted these shoulder pads hastily. There are a couple spots on these that are missing. That's the one part that actually is kind of hard about these clones, is that the shoulder pads really don't like to just be perfect on the first go around. Seems like I always miss something. don't know if you guys all saw the Bad Batch. Oh, yep, somebody just mentioned it. Literally just as I was about to talk about it. The season finale was interesting. I think it was definitely different than pretty much every other Star Wars, like closer, just because usually I feel like we're used to so much action going on, like, oh, it's the big boss fight or something, it's about to happen, but it just felt like a decent closer that was more subtle. It was just like a good ending. I don't know exactly where they're going to go with the crosshair situation, but we'll see. Do you shop from the CAC site or their eBay? They don't have. I don't know if their eBay is active anymore, even. But yeah, I always shop from their site. Normally, I do find some deals on eBay, so I do occasionally buy them. I think the best deal I ever got was like 35 CAC figures, and there's an unboxing of that you can go watch. It was 35 CAC figures for $120-ish, I think. I mean, I think it was somebody who had either gotten that secondhand and had no idea what to do with them, or I honestly don't know. What is your favorite clone? That's a classic question. Right now, I think it's Hauser, just because I just made him, and I'm so proud of him. And he's actually the first clone I think I've actually weathered. Like, even Thyre doesn't have any weathering. It kind of makes him look a little bit better, in my opinion. Because I've always made them so clean cut and everything, but that's not accurate. Like, if I'm going for accuracy and I'm putting all this work into all these small details, I might as well just, chip away a little bit with my X-Acto knife at some of the paint and make the accurate details that include the weathering. So, yeah, that was my thought process behind that anyway. But yeah, I also really like this new shoulder pad design that I got going on. So first off, Jack is going to have the same design as Thyre just because I want them to match. And so will Rise. I don't know how you say his name. I'm pretty sure that's how you say his name. Just because I want them to match, and so I can make a video with them all together. But yeah, going on from now, pretty much every clone will have this design. It's a little bit different in the sense that I pretty much just shortened where the black paint goes, and I left it to curve underneath the shoulder pad. So that's the difference, really. Whereas with Thyre, it just sort of all blends and it's kind of flat. It still goes underneath, but the shoulder pad is just a lot bigger, I think. What Legion do you hate the most? That's an interesting question. I honestly don't know if I have a hated Legion. You can let me know if you guys do. I've never really thought about it in that sense. Clones are clones. That's what I've always thought. What is your favorite way to buy custom clones? I don't really, outside of CAC, I don't really buy them. So, I mean, that it would be my favorite way is just to buy them from Clone Army Customs. So, yeah. I think it's almost time to sculpt the other knee pad. I was sculpting one other knee pad today, and I'm left with this one leg because the left leg and the hip, when I was sculpting, just snapped. So that was not fun. But yeah, I'm kind of just waiting for the stuff to dry, so see if there's any more questions you guys have. Hello, QT. Who's your favorite clone? I already got that question. I'd have to say Hauser. Have you ever tried to make a printed clone? No, but I have thought about it. The main way to do that, I think, for me, would just be to make them like their decals, I guess. I'm not really familiar with how you actually go about printing your own clones. I definitely would have to send it off to somebody. who has a pad printer, since pad printers are incredibly expensive. So, but I have thought about it, and I know that there's potential ways that I could do it, because I know somebody with a pad printer, and I have Adobe Illustrator, so I could definitely try and design something, but yeah, it would be difficult. And it requires a lot of, I assume, test prints and sending stuff back and forth, so it would take a while. But yeah, that is my thoughts on printed clones. So, we got the knee pads. These are almost dried, so we can start working on the torso and then go over the knee pads again. Oh, yeah, actually the torso for him is blank. I always forget that. So really, he just has the arms, the helmets, and the bandolier. The bandolier is going to be tricky. I'm not sure if I want to design that as a cape or not. How long did it take you to make the Sev clone? Multiple days, I think. Didn't take me as long as it should have. Or, I mean, it took me longer than it should have because I made this when I was in my dorm. And there was I didn't have the right color, so I kept having to mix it every time I wanted to make the red. So yeah, that was a pain, but I think he turned out pretty good. There are a couple more outlines that I would like to add, and there's definitely some sanding that I wish I had done on the hip a little bit more. But yeah, I think it's pretty good. Yeah, so let me know if you guys have any other burning questions. The shoulder pads are pretty much dried, so I think I can start. I actually need to go grab my dark red paint for this before I start doing that. So I will be right back in a second. Okay, there we go. So this is the main color I like to use for these guys. I think I've made Thyre a couple times with this color. This is the first time I'm actually, making him with the intention of keeping him, though, so a little bit different. Alright, so yeah, I might have to paint this a little bit off camera because I really want to nail this the first time, because contradicting my points from earlier, you can't really do this over and over again without remaking the entire shoulder pad. So I'm going to check for, yeah, okay, so the stripe on their shoulder pad's pretty thick. And yeah, actually let me finish this first, then I'll say what I have to say. Okay, it's not quite as straight as I would like it to be. Okay, there we go. Okay, so one side, got one side. I'm pretty much just running my brush down to create the outline for the stripe. That is the best way that I've found to make straight lines. I moved away from toothpicks. You're not going to be able to see this on camera, but just because I really don't want to have to do this again, like I said. But I will show you guys in a second. Okay, okay, almost. Hold on. Oh no, I dropped it. That's not good. Luckily, if this was testers or if I was using pretty much any other paint, that would have ended it. But apple barrel dries so fast that it really doesn't matter. I mean, I could throw this thing against a wall and it would probably still hold together. Okay, so one last little bit of paint up top and flatten out this middle part. I added a little bit too much paint on the top half, so I'm trying to slowly drag it down with some water. And yeah, there's one stripe. Okay, that is stressful. Okay, do you know any other YouTubers that make custom clones and buy from CAC? Yeah, I know a couple. My attachment to the community has kind of fallen off ever since I kind of took this long hiatus. So I definitely have talked to Republic Studs before. Him and I don't see eye to eye on everything, I will say, but he's a okay dude. Okay, so I'm going to paint the next section of the arm, just the continued stripe. Actually, hold on. I gotta check my references real quick, because I don't... Oh, crap. Yeah. Okay, so I gotta paint the Coruscant symbol, but I'm gonna do that off camera, because that was the hardest part of this figure. For Thyre, at least. But yeah, I'm adding the next section of the stripe. Just give me a sec. Okay, I need to... Another reason I like working with Apple Barrel over other brands, even though brands like Citadel are just so good for painting smooth surfaces, yeah, the Apple Barrel is just superior for erasing mistakes is a nice way of putting it, so I'll say that. And toothpicks are the best thing for that. Okay, there's the first layer. Coming back with the second layer. And that is pretty much it. Okay. Let me just thin this stripe a little bit. Just a little bit. Another reason I'm grateful well, even though I have to use the same shoulder pad design for this, I'm glad I switched it up on a Hauser, just because I don't think that this shoulder pad really represents the best way of painting stripes down their arms, because the size of the shoulder pad makes it look like the top stripe is way bigger than the bottom two, but it's really just because it's on a curved surface and the bottom two are on flat surfaces. So that is the difference. And I'm going to repaint this back portion of the stripe real quick. We only have 5 viewers. Come on, guys. It's understandable. Have not streamed in probably a good 6 months, so thank you to everyone who is watching. I think I'm going to leave this stream up if I can. I'm not sure if my iPad will be able to upload it because my iPad kind of sucks at everything, but we'll see. If it is able to, you should be able to watch back portions that you missed if you are interested in that. There we go. Let me add some water to smooth it out. That's another trick I picked up is, well, not really a trick, but just if you're going to add another layer, make sure you add it to the entirety of the arm, just because otherwise you will end up with very different, heights for your paint, and it'll come out rough. Yeah, sorry I'm being so particular about this, but yeah, there is one arm. Do you think Hauser will get any more screen time in future Star Wars shows? I don't think so. I mean, I think he's one and done. He did his part in the show. Unfortunately, I would be interested to see if there's like a comic or something that they do make that would show some of the other side of that. If that was like his first, like realization that the Empire is going against his morals, pretty much, as a clone trooper. Or if that was the first, then maybe a comic of him breaking out of prison or something, whatever. Wherever they're taking him. Okay, so you may have just seen it, but I am painting the other arm. The other stripe. Ooh, another thing that I, well, not really speaking of TV shows, but, well, yeah, it's a movie, but I want to watch the new Suicide Squad. I've been meaning to do that. Has anybody here seen it? Oh, crap. No, I messed up. Actually, I think I can fix it. Your custom armor for your figures is very well sculpted. Good job. Thank you. Okay, so this arm is going to need some work. Because this is... I did it fine. There's just one little bit you can see on the camera that's hanging over the edge, so got to be very careful about how I fix that. Nope, have not watched it. Oh, well, that makes two of us. I really want to watch it because I hear good things, and that's, that surprised me, honestly, considering it's a Suicide Squad movie and a superhero movie in general. I don't think I've really been impressed by any of the Marvel or DC movies ever since end game, and even that was sort of like, I don't know. It's hard to explain. It was just, it could have been better, I feel like. It's good. All right. We got a, that's an interesting username. We got a good recommendation for it, though, in the chat. Okay, a couple more times around. This is one of the areas, as I said earlier, that I wish I was actually, good at doing it the first time around, because a stripe, you think it's so simple, and yet, with my clumsy hands, it takes me 3 or 4 go-arounds. I am also thinking about rewatching the entirety of the Star Wars. Well, now that Bad Batch has ended, rewatching the entirety of the Star Wars saga, pretty much, or however, whatever you want to call it. Basically, all the movies and all the TV shows, since I need something to listen to while I'm painting, and passively watch. The thing I love about these customs is that they're so unique. This is quite literally art. Thank you, Noel. That's very nice of you to say. It didn't always used to look this good. I can tell you that. Go to my videos and sort by oldest, and you will see the monstrosities that I have risen above. Okay. See this? Yeah. Okay. This is again. I'm beginning to realize how much of my workflow was backwards with this template from this old design, just because it's making it so hard to paint around the wrist communicator, which I don't know why I sculpt things before. Well, I don't know why. Yeah, I guess I don't know why I sculpt things after I paint. So I think you should skip the sequels. Hey, the second time around that I watched the sequels back to back to back, it was not that bad. It was pretty enjoyable, honestly. Like the ending too. I have to admit, the ending with where all the Jedi are talking to Rey, that's a good scene. Whether you think she should be a Skywalker or not. I mean, she's got to be adopted by somebody. You can't live with the Palpatine name. Gives off bad vibes. Okay. So I'm going to add some black to the top of the wrist communicator again to distinct it from, or make it distinct, if I can say that word, from the stripe, because I kind of painted over the top. Then just give me a minute. There we go. Okay. Black paint will cover up everything. Cover up all your mistakes. Hey, you got to start somewhere. This is definitely harder than painting on paper or canvas. I don't know if that's true. I mean, they're definitely equal in that they take a very long time to get good at. But yeah, I appreciate the compliment. Yeah. Oh. Man, I am just so clumsy with these figures. I think if you've seen some of my live streams before, I think on average, there should be like a betting line for how many times I drop something, because I'm pretty sure my like other live streams, I think I drop almost every figure I touch at one point or the other. Every piece, whatever it is, I will find a way to make that thing hit the mat. Okay, I'm going to fix this red bit with a lot of water and a very tiny amount of white paint. Okay, so we have the water down. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. This is not good. You can see it leaking into the stripe. I don't know, man. Very hard to get a good shot on this. Normally I have better studio lighting, but the one of my freaking lights gave out, so I'm working with one. And I can't put it over behind the camera because then it creates a giant shadow like right up until here. So I'm trying to work my way around that. Yeah, this sucks. I don't know what I need to do, honestly. I just need to paint this tiny amount. Just cover up this tiny little bit. And it's making it incredibly difficult. Okay, there we go. Finally. It's like 3D painting, so it's definitely more complicated. Yeah, that's probably true. Besides, you have to worry about sculpting as well. That's definitely true. Sculpting doesn't intimidate me as much as it used to, just because I know that I'm not going to be sculpting anything incredibly complex. Like, there are some amazing customizers who are sculpting like entire helmets, which is something that I clearly cannot do. I mean, it takes me like an hour just trying to sculpt symmetrical shapes for shoulder pads. So, and it took me like 9 hours to get Ursa Wren's torso. So, it's definitely something that I'm not even close to being good at, but I am. I guess I'd say I passed like the fundamentals course of it. Only 250 subs until 10,000. That is crazy. I remember I think I still have screenshots of every milestone I've hit. I take a screenshot every time I hit one. And I remember I was just scrolling through my camera roll the other day, and I came across the one when I hit 1,000. I don't remember when that was, though, unfortunately. Off the top of my head. I'm sure I can go back, though. Okay, so those are done for now. I think we can go back over the knee pads since they're looking a little uneven from the water. Almost there. Yeah, I know. That's kind of what I'm trying to do right now. Just, make some content that will help get me there. So we'll see. I haven't really talked about it, but I mean, I do have to go back to school, um, like late September. So I am going to create a bit of a backlog. That was my initial plan, at least, of videos that I can upload, and then I'm going to work on some stuff while I'm down at school. However, I'm not going to have as much time to customize as I did last. Actually, that I didn't really even work on stuff until the final term of last year, so I'll probably get more stuff done in terms of quantity, but yeah, I'm not entirely sure if I'm going to be able to upload anything past my backlog. I come back for like Thanksgiving. I can try and make a couple of more videos then, and then I think actually like 2 weeks after that I come back for winter break, which is like a month. So there really shouldn't be too much of a gap. Do you paint wrist comms too? Yeah, the this one has a wrist comm. Not sure how well you can see that. Yeah, there, you can see it. It's the black thing. I'm going to go over it with white paint. I paint it black and then I paint it white just to create the outline on the sides for the black. And then yeah, I mean, I think that's as far as I'm going to go because I basically did the same thing with Thyre, just because I really didn't feel like trying to add those little lines. I don't have a brush small enough to do that, honestly. And I did actually have a one bristle brush, but it broke, so that was definitely an issue. It's actually how I made all these lines so straight on the sides of the torso. Not this one, because I actually didn't have it, but for Hauser, it's how I made the straight lines for him on the sides of the torso. So even, actually. So, yeah. And, yeah, there are 3 people watching, but thank you to the 3 of you that are here. Appreciate it. Hopefully we'll get more people in when I stream again. I'm really trying just to be consistent about content, and so far this week it's worked. I mean, how many videos have we pushed out since I got back? Like 4-ish, I think, with this included, maybe? I don't remember. Let's see. I did the update video. I did Hauser. I did the CSC haul. And what else did I do? I'm already forgetting. Yeah. So 4. 5 including this. Yeah. How are you able to add such tiny details? That's amazing. Well, so I just kind of revealed it. It's a one bristle brush that was super long. That one helped me. It also comes down to painting details that they're pretty easy shapes, honestly. Like for Bo-Katan, the top, they're really just triangles. This is definitely the hardest part. These little like symbols she has are just difficult. And then the weathering is probably the other tiny detail, but really it's not that difficult, I would say. It's just a lot of, just knowing what to paint first and then adding colors on top of that. So yeah, closing in on an hour live here. That hour went by quick. But yeah, the knee pads for Jack are pretty much done. I do need to add the black lines that go around the midsection of the legs here. And then I need to add the black lines on the bottom, and then I need to paint the helmets, and I need to paint the Coruscant symbol, and then he will be done. And I need to add the white on the wrist communicator. So yeah, lots to do. But yeah, the stream is, we have 2 viewers in here, so I think I'm going to end it. It was a good hour, though. I did a lot. So yeah, thank you to the 2 people who are still watching. This has been very fun. If I do stream again and there's more people here, I'll keep going for longer, but I don't really see the reason to keep it going. So yeah, thank you guys for watching, and I appreciate it. And yeah, that will pretty much be it. So if there's anyone that wants to say something before I go, now's your time. I'll give you a couple seconds as I try and flatten out this wrist communicator. Bye, Broken Nathan. All right. I think that'll be it. Thank you guys for watching, and goodbye.